All right, so my name is April Wolf. I'm the Therapeutic Recreation Specialist for City of Reno. This is our monthly Spinal Cord Injury Luncheon Learn series that is brought to you by City of Reno, the High Fives Foundation, Renown Health, and the VA Sierra Nevada Healthcare System. Each month we bring a topic-based speaker. So this month we are bringing in Don Jones and he'll introduce himself briefly with what company he's with. Again, if you have any ideas for future topics that you would like, please feel free to share them. We will be dark in December because it's a little too close to the Christmas holidays. So hopefully we'll see you back in January. And with that, I'll turn it over to Don.
Cool. Hey, I just want to say thanks for letting me be here for your guys' Lunch and Learn. Sorry that those that are watching us, I brought some literature, so I'm not sure how accessible the literature is. If there's any OTs or PTs out there and you need CEUs, I brought some literature so that you can get CEUs. You got to go online and register for CEUs, but that stuff's here. There's some pizza I brought, but sorry folks, you guys can't have any, but we can. But anyways, I'm Don Jones. This little background on who I am. I've been in our industry for like 25 plus years. I started out, got my degree in adaptive PE, so coached a variety of wheelchair sports teams, went to Europe to help develop a sport called power soccer internationally. And then I got hooked up working for a DME provider over in Watsonville, California. Was on the provider side, on the DME side for, geez, probably good old 10 plus years, and then got a gig working as a manufacturer sales rep for a company called Convig, which just did pediatric strollers. Then we got purchased by a company called R82, which did other pediatric mobility devices. And then now we're owned by a company called ETAC, which is a Swedish company which just brought KiMobility, which is KiMobility is another custom manual chair line that I represent, and I just started representing KiMobility as of January. So I brought two of our KiMobility chairs to show you guys and kind of go over the features of them. Also, I brought one of our newer cushions just to go over that cushion. What's nice about it is I'll just talk about it first since I brought it up. But it has 4 independent fluid bladders. I want to say fluid because that's what we're supposed to say now. But we all know what it is. But anyways, so it's kind of different from all the other cushions where the zipper's in the front. The reason why that zipper's in the front is we have these plugs, and the plugs allow us to set these independent gel bladders to that person's sitting posture, okay? So what we want to do is we want to get all the fluid pushed back into the back of the well here. So what's nice is we can float your trochanters, and then your ITs aren't really, you're not like sitting on your ITs in a bucket of gel like some other cushions that you can't control the medium. So we would get all the gel out of the way. I would have our client transfer into the system, and then these little plugs go into the little wells in the front of the chair, seat, cushion, and then it just locks the gel in from migrating forward. So now your gel's not going to just squish all over the place. It's going to be, the fluid is going to be set to where you're at. The only time you need to maybe change this if you have some type of medical condition that maybe you have your hip dislocation or something changes with your seating posture, then you might want to change that. So this is a coded cushion. I can't remember the code, but it's Medicare. This is our skin protection cushion. We also have a positioning cushion. Basically, the positioning cushion is another code. It just has higher wells on the side, lateral supports. Pretty much that's all that's different about it. But what's cool about this too is let's say you have some incontinence issues or whatever, this is very porous, so the substance will just leak out of the cushion. So that's really helpful for some of our folks as well. So this is our Axiom AS cushion, adjustable skin protection. Okay, so that's kind of the theory in this cushion. There's we also have positioning backs. We also have other cushions on our Axiom line through the KiMobility products, and all this stuff you guys can see on the website as well. So this is our lovely cushion. Okay, so any questions out there in the lovely virtual world or here with us?
All right, so are you placing are you doing a pressure map when you're deciding where you're pushing those little plugs in, or, okay?
No, we're not. Yeah, so we're just basically, you know, we're basically just keeping that gel from migrating forward.
Okay.
So when the person sits in it, you're gonna feel that stopping part from where the gel is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you can use a pressure map. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how, I'm sure this probably maps nicely on pressure mapping. Just having access to one is not a lot of us have access to one. But you could use that in combination, which would be great.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else?
That help with scoliosis at all? If you could like raise the pressure or the gel or liquid in one side?
Yeah, so it could.
Kind of
It could, but we don't really have right now, we don't have a lot of seating options for the cushion itself. Pretty much what we have is what we have. But maybe if you have someone that's a pelvic obliquity, right? One side's gonna sink in a little higher or lower. We could accommodate a little bit for that. Yeah.
You have that.
Huh?
You have that.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's nice about it is you get great pressure relief and you get really a stable cushion as well. So the stability is really nice and it's fairly light too. It's not all that heavy. Just by the materials. And what's nice is these cushions are manufactured in Wisconsin, as well as where the wheelchairs are manufactured. So it's nice that it's all done in-house as well, and its lead times should be quicker. Anything else? Cool. All right. I'm going to talk about our Ethos chair. I don't know. This is our KiMobility chair. And our Ethos is our vibration dampening chair. We don't have any shock absorb, but it's vibration. And the way we get the vibration dampening is there's 4 independent towers in this system. And within those towers, there's, I don't know, can they see if I put this up on this
probably.
table?
Yeah, that'll work.
Cool. I don't know if this is gonna help you guys at all, but in these towers, there's elastomers. So you can change the density of those elastomers and change that stiffness of those guys, have a softer ride or a stiffer ride. Also, within this system, I gotta put on the floor. It's a 2-frame system, so the center of gravity is adjustable from the lower frame, which for maybe our newer users, it's great for because there's a lot of adjustability within this chair. Also, I can get a more tapered front end if I need. I can vary the seat to floor height, and that's all within adjusting of this particular frame itself. It's already built in, which is real nice. One pretty cool thing is when we fold the back down, it automatically locks into place for transfers. We have a variety of choices of arms. These are just our basic tubular arms. Also, we have a feature called relaxed. Where you can relax the backrest, which just kind of gives you a little bit. You can open up the back angle and then bring it back upright. Maybe someone just wants that because they just want to take a little pressure off their back while they're sitting straight up. You can just change that relaxed feature. We can do a variety of wheels. So, you know, we can do Spinergies. We can do all kinds of stuff. This is not my newer wheel, but we have a new magnesium mag wheel, which, you know, so some of you guys aren't going to use those, but maybe in a different market. It's a really stiff wheel and it's much lighter than the old version of a mag wheel, which is really helpful. And for those that care, you can get them colored, which is kind of cool, especially on the pediatric side, because we have pediatric chairs as well. That's really, really popular with our peds. But the key thing about the Ethos, a lot of adjustability and the tremor dampening. I mean, the vibration dampening. And there's a lot of research on vibration dampening. I just, you know, I didn't bring that stuff with me, but it's all available on the website. So, but I'm sure you guys might have a few questions about this.
Mag wheels up the 3 spoked wheels? Is that
Yeah, so it'd be like these guys here that are already on this chair.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, these mags.
Yeah.
So these are like the old version, but we have newer ones. Yeah. Yeah, the mag is gonna be, it's not gonna be a spoke wheel, it's gonna be a mag. Yeah, a little more durable, but a little bit heavier, right? We can do Spinergies, we can do everything. And the stuff that I'm talking about here is really insurance driven. This is a K5 chair because it has an adjustable axle plate, you know, but it still can be custom, right? I mean, it's not gonna be a fully welded chair like what some people are using, but we can, you know, I can change the center of gravity. I can do all that stuff depending on what your needs are. And that's all. And what's nice is KiMobility has a really nice chair configurator on the website. So if you're a dealer or a therapist or even an end user, you can go on there and configure your own chair. And it'll tell you what will work and what won't work, which is really nice. Anyway.
So the vibration dampening, is that just when you're going, you just feel the less?
Yes. I mean, I brought this little mat that you can roll over that, you know, so you know how to have those little bumps on.
Oh,
yeah, you know those. So this is going to take out some of that shock. It's not a shock absorber like remember the good old XTR, right? Had a monoshock or a Boeing or any of those chairs. That's not the idea is to have a shock absorbing. It's more of a, you know, every day you got some type of vibration that you're going to experience. So it limits that a little bit more. I'm not saying it takes it out completely, but it limits it. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a good application for maybe someone that has some high tone or something, right? And those little bumps get that person to kind of get some tone, some happy feet going. It helps lessen that. I'm not saying it's going to solve it, but it lessens it as well. Yeah.
Is that mechanical or electronic?
Nope.
Mechanical.
It's all built into it. Yeah, it's all elastomers and yeah. So like I said, you can change the stiffness or the softness. You get 4 different types of vibration dampeners when you order the chair. Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat idea. You can order a variety of wheel locks, stuff like that. But also, you know, the components that you're going to be sitting on too is going to be helpful too, right? You know, the cushion, the backrest, all those other things help with that absorption of that shock as well. Or vibration. Wheels too.
Yeah.
Anyways, one thing I wanted to show you is on these anti-tips. They're user activated, which you can grab them if you're able to do that. You can reach behind yourself and activate these anti-tips yourself, which is pretty cool. Also, I can even have this anti-tip go all the way under as well. So I don't know if you people can see that over there. Well, anyway. User activated anti-tip, and obviously it's an upcharge. It's not a standard feature on the chair.
Do you ever do this chair in like combination with like frog legs as far as the front
You,
casters?
you
or
could.
Are you doing your own type of?
No, we're not doing our own frog leg. No,
Okay.
no. I mean, yeah, everything's gonna add weight, right?
Yeah.
For me, you're already, I mean, this is a fairly light chair, but it's two pieces of aluminum, right? It's not one solid system. So it's gonna be a little heavier. So probably I would probably not do a frog leg just because I've already got the suspension in the seating system as well.
Sure.
But I mean, that's what I would do, but that's just me. All right, any more questions on the ethos?
Side guards removable and.
Oh, yeah. And these happen to be the ones with a little thumb hole, so you know, if you can't grip it, you can just pull it out with your. Like a variety of widths and depths, right? All that stuff's to order. Yeah. And different armrest choices too. These are just the tubular arms. We've got other armrest choices, a ton. Anything else? No, in video land, you're all quiet in the video land. Is there anyone out there?
They're there. Jill
All right,
has,
cool.
you have to come up with a question, Jill.
Yeah, I mean, you know, come up with, they don't have to have a question. One thing I don't know if you guys are familiar with KiMobility's manual chairs at all, but this chair is our new Rogue 2, which is replacing our original Rogue. And if you're not familiar with the Rogue 1, what I'm going to show you may not be all that important. But so what we've done is we've changed the way that the caster housings are. Before, on these caster housings, it was a big U shape, and the big U shape was causing people to have interference when they were transferring. They couldn't get up close enough to the transfer surface. So having it straight like this or a little angled allows that to happen much easier for folks. Also, before when we had the caster housing, it wasn't welded in place. It was like it would just kind of seat into the frame. And there were some inherent issues with that. You couldn't take that piece out if there was a problem inside of that piece. So now this whole axle piece comes off and you just have the welded caster housing. So that's helpful. One thing that we've changed on this too is our relaxed back. The relaxed back is adjustable on the front here. So now we're sitting like at 90. But if I just squeeze the lever on the back, it allows me to open up the back angle. And then I can come back up to seating. Maybe you would need to adjust something, your shirt tail or something, or you just want to get a little bit, maybe you're tired of sitting straight up at 90. You want to just relax. You have the option now to change that back angle. Pretty cool. But you got to be able to have the dexterity to be able to kind of move this rear bar. Another thing is now we have toolless back angle adjustment, which is we don't have to take the backrest out, take out bolts to adjust the back angle. Now there's two Allen wrench screws, bolts that I just turn, and that's going to change my back angle, which is quicker. And I can do that while the client's in the chair as well, which is cool. Before, you'd have to get out, take out the bolts, and then readjust it. Also, on this frame, we can have the classic frame, or we can have a little more sporty frame where you can change the front frame to where it's longer in front or shorter. For some people, it's helpful. Some people want a little more frame in the front so they can grab and easier to transfer. Maybe helps with more stability. One thing that we've gone to too is now we have these two independent towers on where the camper tube mounts. What's nice about that is before we would have a single tower, and then there would be extra pieces sticking below when we had it that way. That caused a lot of problems for people when transferred, right? Bringing that chair over their body, that camber tube excess could, interfere with their pants or their steering wheel, depending on how they transfer. So now it's all nice and clean. And I can change the seat to floor height right now. I mean, I can just by taking these 2 bolts out of each side and adjusting that rear seat to floor height. Then I'd have to obviously square up the casters, but we can do all that. Not with the client in, but I can do that fairly quickly instead of having to order new parts to do that.
Can
Anyways.
you change the dump angle on
Yeah,
that as
yeah,
well? Okay.
Yeah, the rear seat to floor height. Yep.
Yep.
I can change. Don't. Seat slope.
Yep.
Yes, that is adjustable. Also, this is our new footrest. We call it I think we call it the hybrid footrest, because what we can do is, for some folks, I mean, if we need to, we can order little sides for it. So if you want to keep your feet inside of that footrest, you can order those little sides to it.
Does it work with a freewheel?
Free will.
Should.
It's a wheelchair attachment.
Oh, yeah, I don't see why.
What's your-
Yeah.
Oh.
It bolts to the front, doesn't it?
I was thinking smart drive. My
No,
bad.
Oh, we can do smart drive for sure. Smart drive.
No, freewheel, like some certain foot plate,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not familiar enough with the free will to
Yeah.
let you, but that's that single wheel, right?
Yep.
And kind of moves up the front of the chair.
Yep.
So now you got that one big wheel in front.
Yep, raises the front casters. It
Yeah.
may not work with that foot plate.
It,
it
Yeah.
might work all the way to the back of it,
Yeah.
where you don't need a hole in it,
yeah, depending where you need to hook it to.
because it's pretty shallow.
Yeah, this is one piece.
Okay.
So, I don't know, but now it's coming back to what
Yeah.
that is. Yeah, so we could do smart drive, we can do, also, whatever, power assist wheels we can do as well. And all that stuff is on our order form too, so you can check the box on the order form. Also, we could do a 1-arm drive on our rigid chairs too, which we're not gonna have that many people requesting it, but it's possible. So,
I know a few.
yeah, and some of them do them, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, I've done I have done one-arm drive for a little kid. I mean, he's an adult now, and he's the only one that I've ever seen really successful. Yeah, CP guy, which is even more amazing, to tell you the truth. But
Be the same,
he's
yeah.
really good at it. Anyway, so that's what I brought to show you guys. Sorry, it was kind
No.
of quick and short, but if you guys have more questions, anything like that, what's that?
Aluminum or?
Aluminum, yeah, I think it's some 7 series. Yeah, that's why the tubing's a little fatter, right? But it's stronger and lighter, and it's the walls, yeah.
Do you guys do magnesium chairs, or is that just your?
We do,
wheels or your wheels?
Just the wheels,
Okay.
but we do a titanium. We only do a titanium folder. So we do have so we have the rigid line that I brought you. We have tilt and space chairs as well, which called the Focus, and another one that's called the C45, which is a little more economical tilt and space. We do pediatric folding, and then we do a Cat 5, which is our quickie tube. How's that? So we do a Cat 5, which is a folder, and the Cat 5 we can do is in aluminum. But I just didn't bring it. I mean, yeah.
So much.
I mean, my thing is too much to bring, but if we can, we all need to be in a rigid chair. Sorry, my opinion. So, I mean, if I'm talking to spinal cord folks, I want to talk about rigid chairs, right? Because we all, anyway, that's.
So before we turn off the Zoom recording, is there anybody online that has any questions for Don? All right.
So is that like straight insurance or would it be like Medicaid or?
Medicaid, Medicare, yeah, insurance. I mean, you could buy one yourself, but no, this is all insurance. If you have insurance, you can, and you have the right diagnosis, you can qualify for this chair. Yep, so your buddy you're talking about,
Yeah.
if he's got insurance,
She doesn't have insurance.
yeah, but yeah, this is all insurance-based equipment. So like you can work with a local vendor here, guys at New Motion,
Yep.
Randy and,
Yep.
and Trevor.
You're a vendor then? through-
Yeah, so if, they'll call me for sample demos, product demos, and I do a lot at the VA with Lauren at the VA, so I'm the ATP over there that goes out and specs out stuff, which is cool. I mean, and I am an ATP as well, just so you guys know, so. I passed the test years ago when it was easy, I think.
Good looking chair.
But yeah, I just can't do insurance, so, our lead engineer that designed this is a quad. Yeah.
That's a good looking chair.
Yeah, it's clean, right?
Super
I mean,
adjustable.
yeah.
It's really nice for-
Yeah. I mean, for, having to be, in a rigid and not exactly sure what you want and you want it to be clean and sleek, I think this, yeah, can't really.
I'd like to-
So I take it that Quickie's not like top of the line anymore, right?
Well,
How are you gonna politically answer that?
yeah. So it's interesting, that's an interesting question. So some of the engineers that are at KiMobility are the same guys that helped start Sunrise, Quickie. Some of those 15 years ago, I think they decided, hey, I can make a better widget, right? So they had the funds and the means to start KiMobility. So this company is based out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And we've been there for 16 years. And over time, you see things have grown, there's Sunrise, there's KiMobility, and there's Thailand, right? Pretty much, there might be the composite technologies, the other composite chair. For the most part, those are the 4 major chairs that insurance is gonna fund, right? I'd say we're right up there with either Thai or Sunrise right now. So. Yeah, I mean, it's a great reliable chair. It's, there's not much things that can go wrong with it. Like I said, I've been on the key side since January, I don't know how many months that is, but 10 months. And I've had hardly any complaints about chair stability and chair life and how it's holding up, so.
A lot of really great ideas on it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. So, and also, if we want to do, plastic coated push ribs, we can do all that stuff too. This just happens to be the sample that they gave me to bring. But I'm getting another one, so that's kind of fun. But anyway.
So we'll probably let some folks jump in chairs after. I'm gonna go ahead and end the Zoom recording. So thank you for those that joined us online, and thank you for Dawn for joining us today. And we will see you in January. There'll be no meeting in December. Thanks so much for your time.
Cool.
Bye.
Thank you, people.